Hello and welcome to Biopharma Talks. Today we have Lokesh Parthan, the Chief Operating Officer of Agency, with us. It's an honor. Thank you for joining us, Lokesh. It's great to have you here.
Thank you, buddy. It's a pleasure being here.
And today we'll take a small journey to his life. What makes him him, what he does, why he does, and what we can learn from him. So let's start. What point in your childhood did you develop an interest in science and technology and leading you to take the degrees in each field and then eventually being part of the field?
Thank you, buddy. Very interesting question now. Let me give you a background about myself. Actually, I'm a North Indian from Rajasthan. Parents are into business and grandparents moved to South in search of business. So we are from business family. Never had interest in science and technology in my early days. And then landed into an IT services company and thereby started working for a pharma industry. And that is where the real interest in the pharma and the technology started. And from then on, for the last 25 years, I have been in the pharma world and in the technology world, just being loved there, don't want to get out of it. And that's largely because the kind of impact that we are able to create, ability to help human lives having a better health is something like so fulfilling and purposeful that this is so exciting and want to get it.
Fantastic. So as a chief operating officer, you meet lots of people, you work with everybody in the team from top to bottom. And so if I were to ask you, what are the key roles and contributions of diverse individuals, scientists, administrators, funders, and support staff? They all play a huge role in building and running a very successful organization, of any organization of any height. So how do you foster a sense of collaboration, sense of community to achieve this groundbreaking work that you're doing in this company?
However, in the pharma world, something like that is of even higher significance because the kind of contribution and support that is required even from the ground staff for achieving something research is very critical. For example, there could be a scientist who is conducting an experiment and he needs support of the other team members. And if they don't understand the larger purpose of the experiment that's going on, they wouldn't be able to help them out with that. So the collaboration is of much higher significance. And the biggest thing that can pull everybody together is we sharing the purpose that, hey, why we are doing this and what is the larger purpose of it. And then encouraging everybody to bring innovation. And that's what we do here at GCC. We ensure that, hey, everybody who comes here, we are trying to understand what skills they bring, what capabilities they have, align them with the purpose, and then say, can you bring innovation to this? So that's how I think it is.
I feel a spirit of symbiosis where, mutual understanding and admiration features work and then building to the community.
Absolutely. It's a win-win scenario. We are able to achieve the larger purpose of the organization and that individual is able to meet his own higher aspirations of growth, learning, and all of that. So totally agree with you on that.
Yeah, this is fantastic. As I walk through your office, I see a lot of young faces or a lot of young, vibrant energy. Why do you think it's necessary, or if I may use the word, important for us to foster a sense of research, foster a sense of innovation at a young stage, especially in college students, and get them interested in what you do? Why is it necessary to build the next generation?
A very good question, buddy. And I think if I can relate back to the first question, you said, hey, Lokesh, did science interest you and other? Actually, you missed that. I think, and in my view, ability to really evoke the curiosity of the students at an early stage, because at that point of time, they're open-minded. They are exposed to a broad areas of learning. That means at that point, they're learning music in life, they are doing sports in life, they are studying different streams, and their ability to connect the dots would be immense. And if they are able to if you're able to invoke the curiosity of science at that point of time, the technology advancements, their ability to find ideas to solve problems could be humongous. And even in the later stages, as these students come later, the learnings and the curiosity that would have happened at the early stages will truly be significant value at that point. So I think we should do that early.
Yeah. So we were just talking to Raju, and because one of the things that we realized was the speed at which technological advancements happen. So, I mean, it's very well known for humans for thousands of years, we were at a certain speed. And then the last 100 years, it accelerated. And the last 10 years, it's just leapt by leaps and bounds. And well, the company is 10 years old now, right? And it's getting even more faster. So, you also have a legacy now as the company, but all at the same time, you not only kept up with technology, but you are now at the cutting edge of all the technology development that's happening in the world. So, where do you think is the company right now, and what is at the precipice? What are we looking at? What when you stand at the cliff of what you think the company is, what are you looking at next in front of you?
See, I think Atricium as a company is at a phenomenal phase. In the last 10 years, I would say that it has built a deep roots. I mean, deep roots of like, learning of technology, a culture of passion, commitment to deliver results. And now those roots have been clearly given a great purpose. That means, hey, ability to leverage all that strength and the learnings that have happened to be able to solve problems for a life sciences industry, focusing on the same strengths of the data and analytics that is out there. So taking that and at the same time realizing that hey, the Gen AI which has come, which has kind of become a level setter, bringing even a small company on par with any other large companies. So these three combined forces, the legacy that has happened of all the work that has happened over the years, the cutting edge technology that is available to us, and then the combined combination of that with a purpose to say that hey, we won't be able to solve this is really putting Agility. And in spirit of that, the kind of people that we have brought who have worked in the pharma industry, the depth of experience that they have, in collaboration with them, the solutions that we are bringing to the table, the kind of innovation that we are bringing to the table, that's making an immense difference. And we are very, very excited about what they do.
I can imagine. And one of the biggest things that's everybody's talking about right now is obviously AI, artificial intelligence and its role and how it's slowly coming into every aspect of our life. Now, what are your thoughts on generative AI and how do you think it will work in research and development, and especially pharma and biotech and license, particularly in accelerating drug discovery, optimizing clinical trials, or even personalized genetic treatment? And what role does Agility play in leveraging these generative AI ideas or platforms to take it into the future?
Very, very important question. If you think about it, a pharma company takes almost 12 years to find a drug. I mean, like from the time a first cell or a molecule has been identified, it takes it almost 12 years for it to really to bring it to life and give it to a patient. And secondly, it is not just that for one drug to be successful, there are several molecules that fail. That means, hey, the experiments would have been conducted and all that. What AI can do is that, hey, it can really bring speed and agility in this and reduce that 12 years to a much, much shorter time. Not only just reduce the time that, hey, from 12 years, you make it 10 or 8 or 6, but be able to make 4 or 5 more success than just that one that would have happened in terms of that trial. So that's what AI can do. Yeah. And Agilysym is fully committed to that happen. We are trying to ensure that, hey, we are cutting through the entire value chain from the research, from where the scientists are starting to work on the molecules, or when the trials are happening with the patients, or in the process of manufacturing that's happening, or in the commercial when people are trying to ensure that the drugs reach the right patients. Agilysym wants to bring AI and data and say that, hey, we will help each of this faster and improve the efficacy of what's happening.
I mean, it is of prime importance right now to understand that this is a technology, even though it's in its nascence right now, like generative AI is basically just a few years old, but we can already see what it's capable of and what it is doing for the betterment of, life science as such. If there was one way of you quantifying that, if you'd like to tell me like, but you remember this is what we used to do, we don't do that now. Imagine how it can be in the future. Is there something that will strike you?
Oh yeah, let me just quickly tell you, right? Like for example, there was a team for which we have now automated the entire document generation process.
Okay.
It used to take them 9 months to be able to prepare that document. Now we are able to translate that in 6 weeks. So that's what generative AI is doing. What, hey, the kind of effort it would have taken them to say, it took us 9 months to prepare this, but you have simplified it and made it.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Great. Very interestingly, talking about the biotech industry, the same science that we now take for granted seems like magic 100 years back, right? Nowadays, we use things like bacterial cloning, we do personalized genetic therapy, and those would have been thought as not normal. But now the advancement has gone so far. So what do you think is the next step in medicine, the next step in health and life sciences, and the role that Agility will be playing in that?
I think obviously we as a company are fully focused on life sciences. So that means we are going to be part of the future or actually building the future of this industry. But I think at least 5 broad trends that I can think of. The first is going to be personalized medicine. There's going to be, I mean, like today we all just take the same medicines. The moment there's fever, all of us just take the same medicines. But in future, clearly there's going to be a situation where each one of us is going to be treated based on who we are, what we are going through, and all of that is going to come into play. So the personalized medicine is going to be a next big thing. Second is the cell and gene therapy itself. That means, hey, completely taking the newer technologies that are coming up where the genetic power would be leveraged and you will be able to solve problems through those aspects. The third big thing, if you look at it, is going to be the AI and the digital health itself. There's going to be so much focus that all of us are going to be consciously watching our data, our digital applications to see that, hey, how I can be healthy proactively. That means I watch my sugar levels, I watch my heartbeat and all of that, and have wellness programs leveraging AI and data and all of that to drive that. The fourth is the regenerative medicines, where we are going to be able to see that, hey, we are able to grow some of our organs again, right? Like, for example, livers and other things. So regenerative medicine is going to be the fourth thing. And fifth, I believe, is that, hey, there's going to be a broad type of equality. Today, there's only medication reach only a certain sect of the community. And I hope that, hey, in future, we are going to be able to take it to the masses where everybody is able to benefit from that.
So I'm glad you brought up point 3. So one thing that we fail to understand is that India has the highest number of genetic diseases in the world. One is because obviously we have a huge population. We are the biggest population on earth. And the fact that two, our genetic pool is very small because of consanguinity for hundreds of years. So a study did come out in 2021, which said that genetic diseases by themselves are rare. But if you were to put single mutation disorders all together and compile them into as genetic diseases as such, they are the biggest problem that India is facing right now. And I'm glad that people like you and the companies are invested in those things, because it is not an easy thing to do, because it's very expensive. It takes a lot of energy, and the returns are very less. For personalized medicine, you're going to spend lakhs of rupees on one medicine and can give it to only one person. So you can't have returns on it. So I really appreciate the fact that you brought that up. And I genuinely can see that being the future only if people put others ahead of, whatever they hold dear to themselves. So I'm really glad you brought that up.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So that very nicely brings us to the end. You've already said this twice today, but I believe that you told about this particular thing when talking about other people. I want to turn it back to you. How do you see your purpose transcending your immediate sphere of influence and taking a broader impact on the community at the large?
If I were to put purpose of my life as, I think as we as humans, the biggest thing that inhibits us is fear.
Yeah.
It can be all get out of fear. And it's not easy. It's not easier said than done that, hey, being fearless of everything. Can we become somebody scared of their health, somebody of wealth, somebody for family, somebody of social status, but all of us are in that state of fear. My purpose for myself was also to become completely fearless, that, hey, I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared to lose anything. So can we reach that state of mind where that fear is not there? And want to ensure that, hey, that's something that I invoke in all the people around me to say that. And to my best ability, if somebody is scared of something, I'm trying to say that, hey, how I can support them so that they can come out of that. They can be confident. And if they get that confidence that they're able to resolve one thing, they'll get the confidence that they'll be able to do more of such things and be able to be there.
And thank you for inspiring us in the same process. So ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure and an honor talking to Lokesh. And we shall catch up on the next talks. Sir, thank you and wish you all the best for your future endeavors.